But George, since you're on the call, would you please kind of tell everybody we just met last Wednesday, spend a couple days together, and tell everybody why you went, what you saw, what you felt, and why this is happening today, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for taking the time for you to actually do this. As you mentioned, it is Thanksgiving, and we are most people are cooking right now, getting ready for the big day tomorrow, the big turkey day. So I thank you for that, for taking the time. Well, one of the reasons why myself, uh, when I saw, well, first of all, I had a very amazing experience with the product first. When my good friend reached out to me and with the challenge that I was having with my health, as far as my diabetes, my blood pressure, and so forth. So she said, George, you need to stop taking this crazy medication that's going to make you sicker and take this. So when she mentioned it to me, I purchased some. Of course, started drinking the ASEA. The first day that I took the ASEA, I drank the 4 ounces. In the morning, I felt the difference right away. As far as I'm saying, my body's of course, is different than other people's body because I felt it through my entire body, like someone was poking, like had a pen that was poking my body, my whole entire body. That's how I felt. Then, of course, I took the energy in the mind. Now, mind you, I didn't ask anyone. I'm curious, George. I like to see the reaction.
He
I
is, you
didn't ask
guys. He is.
anyone
He
what
is
should I
curious,
take.
George. Yeah.
That's right. So I took the energy in the mind, and mind you, oh my Lord, I was incredible. I was flying on cloud 9, 10, 11, all of them. And mostly in the morning, early in the morning, because we up every morning at 5 a.m. to pray. Then after that, I go to the gym some. Then after that, I trade because I also do trade. I trade in the commodity market. So as I was doing that, everyone that's a part of the group, they was like, "Brother George, what's going on with you? It's not like you didn't have a cup of coffee this morning. You had something else. What's going on? What's going on?" So that was incredible. That same day, many months ago, I have not walked with my wife. We walked for like an hour and a half, and I had some amazing energy that I haven't felt in a long time. So to me, the product itself, and it's amazing. You know, that's what I had to say. And plus, when I get a chance to actually meet you and your lovely husband, Tom, oh my God, I have been in this industry for a long time, but of course, there's sometimes you meet some great people, but sometimes you meet people that you could feel the passion, you could feel the love that they have for you. And as I kept telling everybody, the hug when you hugged me, is they felt like a grandmother hug, that good old grandma hug. So I'm very excited and I'm very intrigued for this opportunity, and that's why I'm sharing it with everyone that I know. I know I just got a text from one of my leader that's in one of our leader pastor that I was telling you about. That's one of the country and he said they're having difficulty right now trying to log in. But besides that, I love the product. I love you guys, and I just want everyone to hear about this opportunity here because it is a life changer. I call it the blue magic bottle, right? Because anything that you feel when you start taking this is going to change your whole entire life.
Yeah.
So let me
Thanks,
pass it over
George.
to you. And if Big D want to say anything, sir, I'll pass it over to you before we send it over to
Please do. And just so you guys all know, I do have 4 children. My husband and I have been married over 40 years, and I do have 13 grandchildren. So we love giving hugs. And they're all
that's
over
that
here.
grandma hug. That's
That's
that
that
grandma
grandma hug.
hug.
This stuff is very anti-aging, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, Demetrius, over to you again. Why did you go? Why were you so compelled to get on a plane? What did you see? What did you experience? And why are you here today? Why did you do it? Why did you decide to align with us?
Hey, Denny, it's great to be on. I'm really excited about this new partnership, this company, this product, and we could be anywhere today. I really want to set the stage because I've been around 27 years in this industry, and I've seen a lot. I've seen the powders and the pills and the liquids and the shakes. I've seen people at the highest level talk kind of like we're kind of talking,
Yeah.
just candidly talking about how excited we are about a product. And it always, seems to then go back over to a comp plan. You got a product and you got a comp plan. And everybody is really intrigued by how much money they can make. And so when I arrived at this facility in the manufacturing plant and I got to meet the staff and I began to see and talk to the people, and then beyond that, looked at and really understood the testimonies and what was really driving, why people use this product every single day of their lives to improve the
Demetrius, you're cut out, honey.
get a whole bunch of people to latch on to something that was money driven. And for me, this was about changing someone's life for real. I had seen the testimonies. I had looked at stage 4 cancers. And now I want you all to understand, we can't say a product, heals and treats and cures or diagnoses. I want to be very, very careful with my language. But I want you to understand that when you can share something with someone else that isn't about, a losing a weight kind of a thing, or just the mundane things, the Me Too products that we see in network marketing, just to have an experience and be a part of something that is a startup, or maybe they're an anchored company, because there's many of those companies around. And since I've kind of attached myself to this movement, I've challenged other networkers and I've said to them, show me a product where someone is walking out of the hospital dealing with severe life-changing events where the families get to keep their loved ones above ground. Show me something that's compelling enough that it wasn't you talking about the comp plan and how many people got involved and how many networks you've expanded to worldwide and everybody got a check. It wasn't about the check. I got the heartbeat and a reality check, right, for myself, because I too, I want to be really candid with you guys. I too got in this industry to obviously change the financial status. And that's why we do this part-time network marketing model, right? To make money. That's why you go into business. But beyond that, you have to have a compelling product that you can share, that can't be duplicated, that no one else has. And my level of passion for wanting to share this with people has just really elevated to the next level, where I know for certain I'm gonna drop some names for you. I know for certain Melaleuca does not have this product. I know TLC does not have this product. I know Longevity and Isogenics does not have this product. I know a crypto Ponzi scheme can't sell you this product. You can make all the money over there in these companies. But this was my username. This was the disruptor for me. And this is an industry disruptor. And people say, hey, Demetrius, they're an older company. Why now? Well, let me tell you, why not? Why not now have a product that people can experience that helps them in the area of their concern? Because outside of the money, when you have a health issue, that's the only issue you care about. And if I can impact somebody's life and share this with someone that is in need, to then resolve an issue that they're having and struggling with and get away from medications, we've got something here that's dynamic. And everyone on this call, and this is what I told the networker today, and I'll kind of end with this. I said to them, let's remove network marketing. Get that out of your mind. Let's remove me trying to recruit you to do something that you believe will just benefit me. Let's remove that. If you went into CVS or the vitamin shop or the mall, or you saw an infomercial and you saw what this product does and how your body already mirrors what is in these molecules, and you now in a declining state can elevate that to then be that catalyst for whatever issue or concern that you have to now resolve that health issue, and you come out on the other end with a smile on your face and be content. Let's remove all those other things and let's just say that you should have this product as a standalone for quality of life and be happy to share it to make a difference in the world. So when I came to see this facility and I came and I met the people, I knew right then and there that I didn't have to be sold on comp plans. I didn't have to be sold on the product working, even without a testimony of my own. But I went there with a testimony of my own, and I'll share that with you. I had a rash on my body that I've been struggling with for probably the last 5 years. I'll keep it short and sweet. I use medication for it, topicals and pills. The doctor said, hey, you're probably, causing some damage to some other organs for the length of time that you've been using this medication. And so, you may want to just try to look at some alternatives, or you can stay on the medication. So when I used this product, and within 7 days after drinking it and spraying it on my body, and it dried up that rash. Let me tell you, if you ever had an itch, right, and you're itching certain areas and those areas get dark. I went to sleep with a wooden rod just to try to scratch my back while I was sleeping. It's very uncomfortable for me. And now I don't have those itches on my body or that irritation or these, so to speak, ringworms and breaking and breaching the skin doing so. And the darker spots where I was itching are now 8 and 10 shades lighter and back to the original texture of the skin, the way it's supposed to be. Was a game changer because it helped me. I went to the event and rubbed renew on my knee several times that I hadn't been able to bend, and that knee started to bend, and I was just to bend the knee as I should have been favoring the other knee. Deal with what you need to deal with to kind of keep going. So back to you, Deni. That's what I've got to say. I'm excited, obviously, that you wanted to take the time today to talk about what we have our hands on. And I really appreciate you for sharing this with me. Go right ahead.
Demetrius, you're amazing. We could end the call right now. And I can
I
tell
know,
the
right? Don't
passion
miss
that
that
you're
up
getting.
again.
You are going to take us to church. I'm going to love it. We are going to have fun.
I was about to say, amen, amen. Let me sign
Amen.
up again.
So just really quickly, Demetrius, now not only did you have that issue, but then you came and that night I said, let me show you something else. And I had a doctor there and we did a little strength test on you. And tell them about just really quickly, about your knee and what we put on your knee and what you experienced.
Yeah, so it was the Renew Gold, and like I said, I rubbed it several times on the knee, and I hadn't been able to bend my knee. Um, kind of get into squatting areas. And usually when I get out of a car, whether it's low or high, I've got to favor one knee as opposed to using both knees and putting pressure on it because I played sports over the years. And so I just kind of deal with it. But instantly, probably within, I'd say 10 to 12 seconds of using the product, that pain literally went from an 8, 9, 10 to a 0. I had no pain. And I've done and tried a lot of things in terms of, Bengay and things of that nature that's kind of just mask some of it so you can kind of get through the day. But this didn't have the smell. It didn't have the irritant or the gookiness that you use when you put your clothes on to, after using it. And I was so much more comfortable. And when the pain was gone, I was able to do some things that I hadn't been able to do for a very, very long time. And then when he did the balance test 28, and I just put that on my throat, and I just felt the difference. So we knew that the product was working instantly when he did a balance test on me, and I was floored and impressed with that just as well. So I'm sure you're going to come on and talk a little bit more about the product, the impact, and the ways in which people can get their hands on it.
I will. So fine, you guys. I just get excited every time I hear the story. So again, for all of you, I'm Deni Robinson. I live in Spokane, Washington. As I mentioned, my husband, we've been married over 40 years. We've got 4 children, 13 grandchildren, and I promise you that my greatest legacy to this life is my children, but the significant contribution I will always feel about sharing this gift with the world. It fills me in a way that really touches my soul. And it's because people like George and Demetrius that you just heard, as excited as I am, they know and love and care about people that I'm never going to meet. And that's why you're on. And we're not going to take too much of your time. But, when I got into sea, I had one grandchild and now I have 13. And so I often say that I am in the business of changing lives unborn. After now, it'll be 16 years in, gosh, next week, December 5th was the day I joined this company 16 years ago. And those years have been, um, Demetrius, some of the most profitable years of our life, some of the most fun, fulfilling, exciting, traveling the world, meeting people that I never would have met. But today I have my team is, the legacy team, and this is what I call my legacy line. This is my daughter. And so I'm not here to sell you anything, but if you guys don't mind, I want to tell you a little bit about this journey, why we're here, even through the eyes of my daughter. And I think you'll find this compelling because I will tell you, when she was younger, she didn't want anything to do with network marketing. She used to go, Mom, I don't ever want to do what you do. I don't want to be on the phone. That's not fun.
I would never say that.
She did. And she would, went to college, got a degree, and she went and started to work for the man. So if you don't mind, she's gonna share, we're gonna go through a couple slides so you can kind of see the journey, where it started, where we are today. And it's been so fun because I will tell you that she will say, I'm her why for ASEA, but she is my why. And you're gonna find out why right now. Okay.
Well, hello everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you, Demetrius and George. I have heard so much about you, so it's wonderful to be hopping on with you right now. Love your guys' energy and passion for these products, and I always hear stories like yours, and I'm no longer surprised anymore because we've heard so many stories of this product right here impacting people's lives in so many different ways. But I am always amazed by the different stories that people bring to the table. So it is absolutely wonderful to be able to spend some time with you guys today. I wanted to share my screen really quick and just show you a few slides. My mom wanted me to walk you guys through our ASEA journey. Now, right here you can see that it says living a legacy. My mom has mentioned several times that our team is called the legacy line because my mom, she has said that we can choose to build a legacy so often, but we actually really truly believe that in ASEA, we get to live that legacy, not just build it. Because like Demetrius has mentioned, like George has mentioned, this product is impacting people's lives in such a profound way that we not only get to create financial freedom for ourselves, we get to create impact in other people's lives that we would not have been able to do otherwise. And my story actually began when I was 12 years old. My mom might have mentioned this a few times, but my story began when I was 12 years old. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma and went through chemotherapy treatment to be cured of cancer. Now, I usually will put quotations around cured because I didn't feel like I should have felt when I was 12 years old after I'd gone through invasive chemotherapy treatment. It was the kind of treatment where doctors come in with gloves and masks on because if they got that treatment on their skin, they would get a third-degree burn. And that was the kind of stuff that they were pumping into my body. And so it took a huge toll on my body, on my immune system health. And doctors really said, you know what? Good, thank goodness you are cured. This is kind of the best that it is. And luckily I had an incredible mother who did not accept that as truth. And so my mom, for many, many years, she brought me like the latest lotion, potion, whatever magical elixir that she could to help me to feel better, to boost my immune system, to help me to have a little bit more energy. And then it was 7, yep, you said 7?
7 years later.
7 years later, that my mom brought me this bottle of ASEA. Now, if I'm completely honest, I looked at the back of the bottle. I don't know if any of you guys looked at the back of the bottle and you said, water and sodium chloride. Well, Mom, I think you might have lost it officially. Like, I can go make some salt water right here in my kitchen, right? I didn't understand the technology behind it, but I believed and trusted in my mother. And so I decided to try it. And I'm so grateful that I did. The most immediate impact that I noticed in my health was when it came to athletics. All of a sudden, I was able to participate in sports throughout high school, and in my college years. That I was able to run, and I did triathlons. I did half Ironman. I did a 100-mile cycling race. I did a powerlifting meet. I was able to do bodybuilding. I was able to test my body in so many different ways with ASEA. But I would say the greatest gift that ASEA truly gave me is these three beautiful little children that you see right here. I call them my redox babies because one of the things doctors told me is that I would probably not be able to have children later in life. They said, this is probably a serious enough thing that you should talk to your husband about this. So I did. Even before my husband and I got married, I told him, I don't know what this is going to look like for us, but all things point towards us not necessarily being able to have children on our own. And I now have these three beautiful children that, again, I call them my little redox babies. And I cannot tell you the number of women that have had similar stories to me and the impact this product has made in their life when it comes to wanting to continue their families. And so I thank this big blue bottle every single day for these three beautiful little children that you see on the screen. Now, my mom was introduced to ASEA, you said 17 years ago?
It'll be 16 next week.
16 years ago. I started using the products then, but like she said, I was a little bit stubborn, right? And so I actually didn't want anything to do with it and thought I was going to pave my own way. I went to college, got a degree in marketing, thought I was going to pave my own way that way. But ASEA is based in Salt Lake City. I was going to school in Utah for college. And so my parents actually would travel often to Utah. And I would go to the meetings because they offered free food, and I was a poor college student, honestly. I wasn't interested in anything they had to say. But when I would sit down in those meetings, because I would have to sit through the meetings to be able to get the free food at the end, I would sit in those meetings and I would turn to my left and I would turn to my right. And the person on my left had an incredible life-changing story about these products and the reason why they were there with the company. And I would turn to my other side and that person also had a profound impact when it came to the product. And I would look around the room and it was all filled with people like Demetrius and like George who said, I can make money in a lot of different ways, but I can't make an impact in the way that I can make with this company. And so it was in 2013 that I was introduced to the culture of ASEA. And the longer I was exposed to the culture of this company and that heartbeat, like Demetrius was saying, the more that then I thought, what if I could maybe do that? What if I could maybe impact people's lives on a level that I have seen my mother now do? And so then it was 2016 that I attended my first convention. And the rest, you could say, is history. This company and this product has made an incredible impact in my family's life financially, but as well as, like you saw, those three beautiful little children. And so this team is the legacy line. And we are so grateful that part of our legacy includes working with people like you that we would never have been connected with outside of this connection through ASEA. I'm going to hand things back over.
Well, Lisa, would you really? So also her father is an entrepreneur. I put him through college and graduate school selling Tupperware for all of you. And he had a master's degree and owned his own large, very successful firm here. And tell me the story about what you saw and what a professor had told you once.
So I remember it was actually just a mentor, a business mentor that I had, right? So I had gotten a college degree in marketing and I started working in marketing. And the mentor that I found, I said, well, how do I decide really what I want to do with my life? And they just said, well, I would recommend that whatever it is, whatever path you're looking to pursue, look at the person at the very top and ask yourself, would I want the lifestyle that that person is living? Not only luxury as far as what they're able to afford, but look at the number of hours that they have to commit in order to achieve that lifestyle. And I was very fortunate that both of my parents are entrepreneurs. And so I had the example of my father building this brick and mortar business, right? And I just saw that as he got more successful, he had to get more employees, right? Things got more complicated. It demanded more and more of his time. Whereas my mother, she decided to pursue network marketing. And as she got more and more successful, she built teams of and individual units of people that were able to function without her. And so, truly, that concept that we've heard and you've probably heard in network marketing of time freedom, I saw it in real time and I saw it come to life.
So that's why she's here with me. So again, a little bit about my story. So in December of 2009, I had a friend call me and asked me to take a look at a call just like you are tonight today. And I was using all 24 hours of my day as you were before you got on this call today. And I remember laying on the floor and just, very busy. I had leveled our existing home. I was the builder, contractor, designer on our home here. And I was too busy, but I listened to the call. And on that call, which is something we still do now, almost 16 years later, there were things that made sense to me because of my daughter with my journey. My friend called me after and said, "What did you think?" And I said, "Trish, this makes sense." Let me tell you why. Because I had learned with my daughter that if you don't fix the cell, you can never get well. And I had fought a doctor, she mentioned. He was screaming at me, pounding on the table because I wouldn't do some of the traditional things that he wanted to do. And again, she's beautiful, healthy, 35 years old with three children. And we had the opportunity 3 days later to fly down and meet the founders of the company, Vertus Norton, a scientist who is helping with the company. And I did not understand all the words. It was highly scientific. There was 17 years of research. It was held in a biotech company, headed down a pharmaceutical path. A pharmaceutical company out of New Jersey, Bar Pharmaceutical, had offered them large sums of money to buy the technology, and Vertus Norton shut it. He turned it down. Just so you know who Vertus Norton was, he didn't even start this company till he was 68 years of age. Highly successful, he'd been the chief strategist for Kraft General Foods, which at that time had been about a $36 billion a year company. So he had done this. He was going to take it down the general ways to sell the product, even down pharmaceutical. And they turned down the offer. And he'd had a friend and said that product would be great in the network marketing realm. Just as Alyssa said, if you put this in GNC, people would go, salt and water, $40, maybe next time. And so it started down that path. Now, I will tell you on that day, even before I started to believe in ASEA like I do now, I believed in the vision and mission of Vertus Norton. He was all the science, all the studying they had done. And at that time, he talked about his vision to create worldwide distribution with this product. I've traveled the world with that man, and he recently just passed away a few months ago. And that was simply a joy of my life. But I remember asking him, Vertus, why are you doing this? At your age and stage of life. And he said, Deni, I've often thought about that. I've already left my family a fortune, and now I'm going to leave the world a legacy. And I would tell him, it will be my mission to make that vision come to fruition. And we have done just that. There were lots of other leaders above me. And again, I didn't at that time have to do this for the money. There were other times when I've done network marketing and I did need to make the cake when I was putting Tom through college and graduate school. And, but this was just about a way that I could make a difference. So after that presentation that day, I remember asking the scientist, what would this stuff do for this kind of condition, disease, or malady in the body? And when he leaned forward and said, Deni, does what you're describing have a cell involved? I said, I get it. I'm in. Because I knew through my daughter's experience that there was nothing more impactful or important that I could do with my life. Now, that first year, I really didn't engage as heavily. I was building our home, but that next January, I went on a molecular mission and started a luncheon in my husband's office. And that started popping meetings every single week. And I will tell you that in Little Spokane, Washington, where I live with just a few 100,000 people, until we opened actually Asia, we had more high-level leaders in Little Spokane, Washington than any state or country in the world because I built a local infrastructure. And so here we are now, almost 16 years later. So what I'd like to tell all of you here, this might be something that's new to you, but in looking at Many of you here, I think we're all old enough to realize that welcome to something that's new to you. But this product is not on trial, nor is this business model. Couple things about the company. We have been debt free since 9 months after inception. We have been profitable year after year. We now operate in 35 markets around the globe. We ship to 11 others. And so there is no doubt now that there is an income level for whatever output level that you would like to engage in. I have people making a lot of money, but what I'm very passionate about as well, I have people who send me pictures of, especially this time of year, with grocery carts full of food and say, I couldn't do this. And the ones who say, I couldn't pay for Johnny's shoes or these soccer or this child's, all the things. And, uh, and I've actually been able, and I tell people I have a PhD, a public high school diploma, and 2 years of college. I've actually been able to retire my husband, who has a master's degree and 30 years of experience, and far out earn him. What I love about network marketing, it is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, or your level of education. And there is nothing that I know of that literally busts through the age, race, and gender gap like network marketing. So that's why we're all here tonight. We've got so many places that I can show you where all the science is. Everything is there. But we just wanted to do a quick introductory call so you could get to know me, why I'm here, and how find out how I can serve all of you better. But today could be the day that, like for me, almost 16 years ago, that day changed my life forever. I remember vividly, like we could have walked away from this. And I remember telling Tom, with or without Deni and Tom Robinson, this company's going to go somewhere. And I want to be a part of it. And I'm so glad we did. Because when I think of all the lives that we've been able to change around the globe. It's amazing because we were brave enough to start sharing salt water from Salt Lake City. It tastes a little bit like pool water when people were like, Deni, talk to the hand. I've never heard about that. You're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. You don't know anything about that. But like I said, I just realized I was looking for people who were looking for me, who believed that their health and their finances were up to them, not the government, not their employer. But I believe in network marketing. You have to like people and be at the service of people. Because I'll tell you this, the only day that ASEA will be about you is the day that George or Demetrius got you on the phone. The rest of your time to be successful and earn an income with complete time and money freedom is about serving other people. And that's what I love to do. I will tell you that I have 31 millionaires on my team, and that comes from actually 5 different organizations. And we're just getting started. So when you talk about stability of a company, here we are 16 years later, highly stable, but with the heart of a startup, because we've got some things coming in January that are going to turn and flip the switch on what's happening in the network marketing model. I've always believed that ASEA is a product that everybody needs. But now we have a compensation plan that really rewards you for your skill sets, all while becoming more. And so this is truly the people's opportunity. And all of you right now, you know about it now. And once you start to see what the product will do, you're going to want to share it with other people. And so anyway, with that, George or Demetrius, over to you. Are there any questions you'd like me to answer for this amazing group of people who've graciously given us some time the day before Thanksgiving?
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, I don't know if anyone has any questions. I know that I have the pastor that's on. I have attorney Antoine. There's a few people that's actually on. I don't know if they have any questions. Uh, Feel free to ask your question. Feel free to ask your question. Well, I guess you guys did such an amazing job, if you call it a job, that they get all the information that they need. I mean, as far as any question, guys, any question? I love it.
Let me
Hey,
just tell,
George.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We just want to tell all of you there's some great things happening. It's that time of year. We've got some great Black Friday sales going on. And We will quickly get out to all of you what those are. So, Alyssa, do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, well, really the promotion that's happening right now. So those of you who are not currently part of ASEA, I've actually never seen a special
Never.
or a deal like this ever before, honestly. Anytime that there is a new enrollment, so if you haven't been part of ASEA, any new enrollment gets a full case. So that's four of these bottles
$140.
of this redox drink that George and Demetrius have had experiences with. You get four of these bottles for free with any enrollment right now. So, which again is available through Monday right now.
And there's also other BOGOs that we've got in there as well. George can quickly get those flyers out to you and get your questions answered. Please do a deeper dive on this. Take a look at what we have. What I always tell people is you know, this might not interest you, but I can tell you that you do know, love, and care about people, that this product could drastically help. Now, remember, when you start to say, well, Denny, would it help with this? Would it help with that? Remember what I said. Does what you're describing have a cell involved? Many people often say, I want healthy lungs, healthy heart, healthy whatever. You really need to flip the switch and say, I really want healthy cells, because you want your cells to communicate from cell to cell and from within each cell. And that's exactly what ASEA does. ASEA doesn't cure or treat. And I want to make that very clear here. We don't cure anything. But when your 75, 100 trillion cells start to communicate correctly, it's amazing what starts to happen. The other thing is that when you drink this, it's non-toxic at any level. Um, there's no contraindications with any medications. It just does what your body needs it to do. So for years we had this, then we actually put it into a gel, put on your face, incredible. This we just released, and this is targeted relief. So this is broad spectrum. So it's going to go in your body and do what you need to do. This is targeted relief for the NFR2 pathways of pain and inflammation. And just like you heard Demetrius, this works so quickly all the time. So anyway, with that, Demetrius, is there anything you'd like to say? And we'll wrap this up, and we could certainly even get back together on Friday if we need to.
So sorry about that. I got kicked off for some reason. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi
Oh, no problem.
connection, but um, so I don't,
Oh, you're cut out again,
and
Demetrius.
inviting everybody.
I think it's paying off. Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Oh, just you
No, no,
just cut out for a second.
Ah, I don't know. Maybe it's my connection or something. I don't
Oh,
know
well,
if you can still hear me.
I can now. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So maybe there's other folks that have questions that they can think of at the moment, but I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your heart, sharing the vision of the company, and telling us more about the product. And really nice meeting your daughter here on Zoom.
She's pretty
Also,
fun. She's going to be a
but
huge asset to all of you. And again, I've spoke on some of the largest stages in network marketing, and she on her own right as well. I'm a board member of the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. She spoke on those stages, and she will be a great asset to you and your team. And how fun it is. Who wouldn't like to build a legacy business, you know, with their children? And we are real life living proof that it happens, and we'd like to help others do the same.
okay, briefly before we end, would you please briefly go over the income potential, because there's a few of leaders that also I have on here, and also I know that you went over the products, uh, and that briefly of the potential for the income potential real
So,
quick,
so George,
if
what
you
are
don't
you
mind.
asking? Just ask me pointedly, and we'll just. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to tell them?
Like Tom Cruise say, show me the money.
Okay, so let me tell you guys some stories. So when I first got started, and for those of you in network marketing, again, I didn't have to do this. In the very beginning, you know, I'm out there doing meetings, and I remember coming home to my husband, and I said, I could be making more money at 7 frickin' 11 than I am right now. Okay. Because when you first start network marketing, that's kind of what you're doing. You're out there calling people, you're getting people in the pipeline. And that's the first stage of network marketing where you're really not making much money. Then there's a stage of marketing where you start getting paid kind of like you would a job. You're enrolling new people, you're getting some fast start, things are starting to happen. then there's kind of that magical thing. For those of you who've done network marketing, do you remember when all of a sudden you have the first time you see someone come across your dashboard and you notice that you don't even know the name because it's someone in depth. That's the magical part where you start getting paid for things you never do see or touch. And that's where this leveraged income that you can build an organization, a team beyond yourself. So what started for me with all my efforts in little Spokane, Washington on Pacific time, pretty quickly I had people like in Montana and different in Idaho. Then we opened Canada. And then so I was in Pacific time. Then all of a sudden I was in Mountain time. Then I started going into Texas and Eastern time. So I was getting paid in those time zones. But then as we started to open Mexico, and then we were in Europe, and then pretty quickly Asia, do you start to realize my efforts get compounded? And so I'm open for business 24 hours a day. You start getting paid for when you're asleep because you're helping other people create businesses. It's a powerful model. My husband, as I started to grow, he would often say, Deni, do you know how much money you're making? And again, you guys, for me, this was about the power of the product. And I would say, no, but let me tell you the story of what the product did. And he would start to say, Deni, and the checks were coming in then. And he would say, Deni, do you understand what you're building? That all you need is this cell phone. And I was traveling, and he said, you don't have a brick and mortar business. You don't have employees. And as she mentioned, he was hiring more and more employees. And he would reiterate, you don't have employees. I didn't have all those headaches. I didn't have all that high overhead. I was drinking the overhead by drinking my product every month and using my Renew, but building a global business that was paying me 24 hours a day. When you start to understand the potential of network marketing about this residual income where you can help other people, and by being the service of other people, that they're never your competition. Tom would actually have accountants come in that, might even go start their own firm that would become his competition. It doesn't work that way. And so when people still ask me, how much do you get paid, Deni? I'll say, like last week, I'll say, well, that's not really a fair question because I'm still getting paid for work that I did now, you guys, almost 16 years ago. I have people who've been drinking the product, since those first couple of months that I got on with ASEA. So that's called residual income. So residual income, but not only residual, but reproducible income. So, there's an oil well that's great because it can pump oil, 24 hours a day, but those oil wells don't typically make another oil well. And so that's what this has done. I've helped, people start their own oil well, then more oil wells that are all moving all the time. And as you can start get in a small portion, as John Paul Getty would say, I would rather have 1%, of 100 people, 1,000 people, than 100% of my own. Because as excited as I am, there's only so much time that you can have somebody work per week. But when you can start being paid off of the efforts of other people around the world, and at this point, there's so many that I don't even know. But I get messages daily, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, from people who say, you don't know me, Deni Robinson, but you told someone who told someone who told someone who told someone who told someone. And let me tell you what this product has done. So to be a conduit for good, and I always say network marketing is about planting a seed that can grow into a tree that can leave shade for generations. And that's what I'm doing. I'm helping leave shade for generations. Again, one grandchild, now 13, now have a daughter in the business who's a diamond and flourishing, my legacy line. And so what I would be more grateful and honored to do with all of you here is to make that difference in your life. And I know we can.
Can I jump in? So
Incredible.
my mom is going to be so humble about what her income earnings are. But usually people hear what her income is and they think that it must be illegal. So whatever number that is to you, we can't say specific numbers, but whatever that number is to you, it should be illegal.
Okay, so let me just tell you,
Well,
years ago, we were at an event and they had an income disclosure. And she goes, Mom, your income's not even on there. She goes, what do you make? And I said, I make gangsta money and it's legal. Gangsta money. Yeah. So there you go.
so Let me ask you this question. That's incredible. I love it. Now you mentioned because I have a few uh that's on here, a few people that's on here. You mentioned about the 31 millionaires that you have. Where all of them, as far as veterans and network marketers, what the experience that they have as far as those some of those 31 millionaires
So
that's on your team?
I've got housewives on there. I've got, put it this way, you guys, last year, the business builder of the year was a 72-year-old midwife from Texas.
I had never done any network
Never done
marketing.
network marketing. Didn't
Wow.
know how to play on the computer. All right. So we have ways that you can do this. Push play. When I got started, we didn't have near the information, near the systems, near the events. It was brutal. And but here we are now, 16 years later, and not many people have heard about it. I don't even know how many of you had heard about it before. So we're just getting started. So yes, there is an income potential for whatever you want. I always say there's part-time, full-time, and big time. But one thing about network marketing is you can't do it really sometime. Because if you do it sometime, if you have a lot of people just consume the product, right? That's great. But if you just do it sometime, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And we all know that hobbies cost you money. And so again, for whatever you want to do, I have so many people who just consume the product. But it's amazing. I often tell people if you get in for the product, the business will get you, not the money. But you're going to want to share this with other people, right? And you're going to get a thank you check in the mail. I've had networkers who just been, I just want the money, maybe like a little bit about what Demetrius, they first thought they're, oh, I'm just going to go there and make money. But this product will humble you because, and I say, if you come in for the money, the product will get you because you will start to feel, and when you can make a difference for those people who are hoping and praying for a difference in their life and they just didn't know that it's going to come in that magic bottle, that George talked about, it'll humble you and you're going to be here. I'm about purpose and impact. So anyway, everyone, it is 5 minutes for the top of the hour. I appreciate your time.
Two questions. Okay, I have
You bet.
two other questions. Now, could you tell us a little bit more? I know you mentioned about the doctor because I do have a doctor on here that told you no at first, and how he was able to succeed. Because I have a doctor on here, and I know hopefully she's not going to tell me no. So please share that story about that, and I have one more question after that.
Oh, about a doctor. So it was a chiropractor, a friend of mine. So even though first couple days when I got back from being in Salt Lake City, I told him about it. And a couple of things I'll just tell you. I remember taking him some of this product and he had it and called him in the first couple of days and he's like, I don't know, I don't like the way it tastes. And I honestly said to him, Carl, I'm going to come get that stuff because it might not have value to you right now, but it has value to a lot of other people. And the other thing is he knew this was a binary compensation plan, and he will tell you he it took him over 15 months to come to one of my meetings. And he came to my meeting and he sat there like this. And because he had said, he joined the company, and I'll tell you later, he used to say, Denny, I paid the $40 to join the company just to get rid of you. But I knew enough about network marketing, especially a binary, to know that there is a first mover's advantage when you join the company. Because right now, wherever you guys are coming in, people are coming down below you. And I love this fast growth. And by the time he engaged, I had already, if you will, put so many people underneath him. And he's also $1 million club earner, never done this full time, has been disengaged for years. He lost a child and a divorce. And he has just done this through his practice. And he'll often say, Denny, that $40 investment has become, one of the best pieces of real estate I could have ever bought. I have friends who came in the business who were upside down, inside out. One of them, I think they had 20 credit cards maxed out. They're actually a $10 million earner on my team. Other people who had lost their house in an apartment, making simply a few $1,000s a month, now multi-million-dollar club members on my team. So the product works. I will also tell you this. We now have about 15 products on our line. That's all that we have. But I was able to make $1 million with just this product, with only one product that we were sharing. because this product works, people need it, and that's a little bit about that, George. So yes, huge
So
income potential.
so what would you say? What is the two most powerful product that someone should have in their repertoire and have with them all the time that they
Well,
need to have?
right. Well, this we have this in pouches only in the US, which I love. But for the fastest response, if you want to share it with somebody, this people often ask me how long is it going to take? And I could tell you all some things later, but I always say 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. All right. And we've got statistics on those. But for the fastest relief, this gold product right here, you put this on somewhere where it hurts, maybe even 2 times in 5 minutes, and everyone will feel this. Then we have that Renew 28 as well. So this product is for pain and inflammation. The other one is targeted towards circulation. It increases circulation by upwards of 50%. And when we always it's called Renew 28 because your skin cells are renewing every 28 days. And I always say take a picture when you start using the Renew on your face every night or in the morning after you've washed it, and you will see a difference. But I'm a layperson. I can't put a camera inside your body. But those same age spots, wrinkles, and whatever are happening on the inside. So, George, those would be the two things. And we have those in sample sizes as well. We also have some great ASEA Performance nootropics that you can use that I know that George was mentioning, he's talked about, but those have instant product experiences with them. However, they are not redox. This is our flagship product. This is why we've got 7 patents and going on thousands of trade secrets on this. There is no one can copy it. We are the only place on the planet that you can get these molecules outside of your body in healthy cells. All right, George, back to you.
Okay, and also for everyone that's on here that does not have a position yet, why should they take a position tonight and not wait for tomorrow or the next day? Because, position equity is very important. Why should they?
You guys, you know that story I just told you about my chiropractor? He said, and I have people all the time who said, Deni, I wish I had listened to you then. I wonder, what would have happened. So you guys, there is an advantage to that in this compensation plan. Get a spot, use the product. So here's what I'm going to tell you. So I always ask people that when they say I want to try it, I'll say great. Would you like to be a customer or an associate with a company? If someone says, "Oh, I just want to be a customer," I was like, "That's fantastic." But I do want to tell you again, in this compensation plan, while you are starting to just enjoy the product, I'm going to still keep working and talking to people. So where you might come in today compared to in a few weeks when you've had a result, and you will, I'm growing, I'm moving, and you could have been here. So if I just want to let you know that. But if you're thinking, well, I would, and if they say I'd share it with people, I will say for certain you should enroll with a company for $40 because then you can get a thank you check. If you're simply just a customer, you can't get a thank you check in the mail, which we pay every single week. So that's why I would say get the product, full money back guarantee, nothing to lose and everything to gain. And especially right now with these specials that will end on Monday. Again, we've never seen it.
No, never seen anything like it. $140 worth of free product with whatever package that you select. And there are packages that are available where you purchase the Redox drink and then you're able to get the gold, or you can select the Renew 28 with those packages.
Incredible. Well, I want to say thank you guys, and everyone, get back with the person that invited you. As I mentioned, we are not salesmen, we are talesmen. So we just tell you guys exactly what's taking place here and how excited that we are. Get back with the person that invited you on this call and take that position.
Hey,
Take
George,
that position.
it looks
Yes,
like
ma'am.
Kevin raised his hand. Kevin, do you have got a question?
Oh, sorry. Kevin has a question.
Um,
Yeah, Mr.
thank you
Kevin.
so thank you so much. If you can hear me okay.
Yes.
Loud and clear, so take it away.
Fantastic. First and foremost, I just wanted to I really don't necessarily have a question, more so a comment. I just wanted to thank you, Miss Robinson, first and foremost, for an amazing job to sit and command the attention of the individuals that are on this line. Um, I reluctantly was invited to this conversation, and I
I love it. You
actually
guys hear that?
invited,
Reluctantly, reluctantly. I get it. I love that. Thanks
well,
for being honest.
well, and that was the whole purpose of me raising my hand. I wanted to be full transparent. The person that invited me to this call, I just have a tremendous amount of respect for this young lady. She's doing fantastic in the industry, and when she called me and said, or texted me rather, and asked me to jump on, it was very, very reluctant. And I was in the middle of another meeting. I actually stepped out of this meeting because of you. I just wanted to thank you. And I wanted to thank your lovely daughter for the testimony, because I do understand that facts sometimes tell, but it's the stories that always sell. And I appreciate the way that you implied this information. And even though the gentleman that preceded me asked to talk about the comp plan, somebody on this line, trust me, don't even need the compensation plan information more than hearing the conviction, the way that you guys shared the information. And I just wanted to, I was over here, I don't know if you noticed, but I raised my hand about 10 minutes ago and I lowered it because of the fact that I was saying to myself, I shouldn't even say this publicly, but I had to come on here and just thank you for being such a refresher and and delivering a call that was so refreshing. So I appreciate that. You'll be hearing from me very, very soon. I'm sure that I'll get a conversation to you. I do have some personal questions that I would love to ask, but I just wanted to personally thank you, you and your lovely daughter, for being able to give the information and deliver it in the capacity that you did. It's what our industry needs. And yes, ma'am, I am a 25-year veteran of the industry, so I'm biased.
All
But
right.
but just to hear you all deliver this information the way that it is. Now, I will say this as I close, because I know that you're ready to go. To the person that's on this line, probably hearing this for the very first time, I just want to say, do your due diligence, do your investigation, because there's two main things that's happening right here in this hour that you've been on this call. Number one, you're being introduced to something that you probably did not know about, like me. I wasn't aware that this product or this company existed. Number two, you're being introduced to the saving grace of the world right now. With us going through all the things that we're dealing with in the United States, maybe you're in another country, but for those of us that are in the United States, where jobs are getting cut down, people are losing their, good government jobs, the issues of those things are becoming troublesome. We know for a fact that the net worth that you create is going to trump the net worth that you leave to your family. So I just wanted to say, please listen in. I'm listening in. I'm tuning in. The person that invited me, she knows who she is. You got my attention. And that's what I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate those words, and may I always be worthy of them. Every day I just pray, whom can I help and whom can I serve? And people serendipitously show up. And thank you. This is really a joy. People often say, Denny, are you going to retire? And I'll say, well, retire from what? Traveling the world, making a difference. We're done on the money. We're good. Tom and I are good. This has paid us well. Investments have done well. But I know I had him retire because I wanted to spend our, how many times do you get the money and time freedom? And I said, I want to travel the world with you. And there are other opportunities out there for you guys to look at. But I always say a dollar isn't always a dollar. There's comp plans that are flashy and pretty, and hey, there's companies that are really sexy looking. We're probably not the sexiest company. You're not going to see the yachts, the fancy cars, but you are going to see stability. Our founder built this company on what he called P over E, principle and purpose over ego and economics. It is always about the people. It's not the other way. You've all seen companies where it's all about the ego, right? You're not going to see that here. But we are about changing lives. So, again, thank you all for dialing in. If everyone wants to get together this weekend, Friday, whatever, we're up for it, okay? And with,
Thank you.
all right, bye everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Denny. Thank you
Bye,
both.
everyone.
Nice to
Thank you,
meet
Danny.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Bye bye.
Bye.